I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed by Sony this year. Not because they were bad, but because of how good they could have been if they'd spent more than a few seconds talking about the games that were shown. But they didn't. So we have a lot to talk about, so let's get going! Layden has clearly done way too many presentations and knows his craft way too well. But I gotta admit, I love how sassy this guy is.
That's a clap line. That's an applause line.
Layden played the audience up to extreme levels of hype, teasing something that we all hoped would come, but none of us dared believe. The Last Guardian is back. When it comes to games that finally get out of development hell, there are really two kinds. Games that fall drastically short of the hype surrounding them, like Duke Nukem Forever or Colonial Marines, and games that far exceed or at least meet the expectations, like Alan Wake. As much as it pains me to say it, I have the distinct impression that Last Guardian will be a letdown like so many. I'm not sure I like the visuals in this game. It's a weird mix of anime and photorealism. The main character looks like he's ripped straight from a Studio Ghibli film. I mean, there's a weird slow-mo effect every time something cool happened, and I very much hope it's just part of the demo. The monster looked and sounded adorable, but he also seemed unresponsive and clunky. This game has a lot of history riding behind it, and while I've accepted the fact that we'll never get the Shadow of the Colossus sequel that we really want, I just hope that this game proves worthy of the Team Ico heritage that it has. Oh my god, it's Herman Hulst! Oh my god! I don't actually know who that is. But he's from Gorilla, and that means that he has something brilliant to show me. So what new Killzone do you have for me today? That's not Killzone. That's not Killzone at all. Robot dinosaurs versus cavemen? Fuck yeah, that's metal as shit! I gotta admit, I got goosebumps from the trailer beforehand, but the gameplay demo really won me over. It was bright, colorful, it looked smooth and full of action, and that Robo T-Rex was intense as shit. Also, it looked like we were playing as Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones, and if that means I get to shoot Robot Jon Snow with my bow, all the better. Whatever it is, Horizon Zero Dawn has me excited. Oh boy, Hitman! Oh boy, cutscene. But I gotta admit, it's pretty progressive of them to let an asthmatic do the soundtrack. So, how is this different from the other Hitman games? No, don't move on! Street Fighter V! It's even Street Fighter a 5th time. Or more accurately, the 43rd time. But don't stop to talk about it or anything! I guess these developers all have more important shit to do. Like Super Street Fighter V! If you've been following No Man's Sky for the last couple of years, then you already know all about it. If not, then it's a little hard to explain. Imagine Minecraft in space, only instead, imagine a legitimately good game. It's a shared exploration title, only the draw with this one is that every player is actually exploring the same dynamically generated universe. There are billions of planets, with more variation promised post-launch. Even the developer admits that it's unlikely players will ever fully explore this game, and it would be impossible for individuals. The demo shown demonstrated a brief space battle, which looked brilliant. It space-hopped to a new planet even the devs haven't explored before. Everything in the game is destructible, provided you have the means. Every world is dynamically generated, and even the species of wildlife on those worlds are somewhat dynamically generated. Essentially, what these people have done isn't make a game. They've created a universe, and hopefully, a community. I personally hope to see each and every one of you at the center of the galaxy. Media Molecule, aka my heroes, then took to the stage to announce Dreams, a game that I cannot possibly make any sense of to you. Seriously, just go watch it. It's a user-generated shared dreamscape made with digital puppetry. It's easily the most beautiful, poetic idea for a game ever, but unfortunately I know it won't end up that way. People are terrible and undoubtedly will all be penises. Also, motion sensor sculpting is bound to have way too many problems. Lovely idea, though. I didn't really get a clear concept of what Firewatch actually was from the presentation, but I loved the sassy dialogue. I tolerated the graphical style, and I absolutely adored the real-world intensity that it was hinting at. This is definitely one to keep an eye on.
You're not in your tower?
No, I'm not.
Then who is?
Blah. Destiny, Expansion, The Taken King. How about a good game, Bungie? You remember when you made those? The brief Assassin's Creed Syndicate bit confirmed that a lot of things from the trailer at the Ubisoft show are in-game, and expanded a little bit on the story. It's not unusual for the assassins to immerse themselves in the criminal underground, but it is unusual for it to be the focus of the game. World of Final Fantasy. It's tiny, adorable Final Fantasy, and that's pretty much it. Look at these guys!
World of Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's a remake of Final Fantasy VII. Shocker. Moving on! Devolver Digital took to the stage and tried to give me whiplash from how fast they move from game to game. But here's what I gathered. Ronin, it looks like Cannonball meets Strider. I-tier, A-tier, whatever the fuck it is, it looks like... Mother Russia Bleeds, it's Double Dragon mixed with Hotline Miami. Crossing Souls, it's an acid trip, that's what it is, it's an acid trip. Thankfully, ludicrous speed stopped for a while, and the creator of Shenmue took to the stage to announce a Kickstarter for Shenmue 3. The fact that this game requires a Kickstarter at all proves that humanity is doomed. If you haven't played the first two games, I can't really describe what makes this series so brilliant, but it is definitely worth a look.
A full-on Shenmue experience you have dreams of.
Then where are all the doors?
The fate of Shenmue is in your hands now.
I love the Arkham series. It is, without a doubt, the best set of superhero games ever. I'm honestly sorry to hear about Arkham Knight's PC woes, but from what little I've seen, the console versions are just as good as ever. The Scarecrow segments were always my favorite part, so when they announced a crazy FPS add-on themed around Scarecrow's Nightmare World, I was pumped beyond reason. I cannot wait to see what Rocksteady tackles next. Hopefully Daredevil. My initial thoughts on Project Morpheus were, wow, does the world really need another VR project? But it's hard to argue with Sony's passion and various propaganda they were spitting at me. Now, as far as the actual games are concerned, they didn't spend very long on any of them, instead electing to barrage me with yet another montage. But they did manage to spend a whole breath on one. Riggs, a mech combat game. From what I've seen, it looks like fun, but you know, if nothing else, it'll tide me over until I can play the new Mech Warrior in Valhalla. Great! Spotify! Moving on! Great! TV! Okay, I get it! Entertainment! The only thing of note was that Sony will finally let you subscribe to individual channels so that you can watch BBC without 47 ESPN channels tacked on. People have a major case of sequelitis when it comes to the Call of Duty series. If you called Black Ops 3 by any other name, people would be going nuts over it. Call that shit Farts and Flags, the video game, and it wouldn't matter. The only reason no one cares is because it has Call of Duty on the box. And nothing pisses me off more than unwarranted apathy. This game looks super polished. The world looks amazing. There's an explorable menu like in the first Black Ops, which I adore, and the return of co-op campaign is a huge plus. All in all, it looks fun, and believe it or not, that's what I look for in a game. I will admit the multiplayer seems like the same old shtick at first. But the little things look promising. There seems to be a super focus on mobility this time, much like Advanced Warfare. The ability to play as a robot seems interesting, and the addition of underwater fighting in multiplayer is a godsend I wish more people would explore. Bring depth to consoles! There was a montage for the third time in this conference, because why the hell not? And then Star Wars! Oh! Disney Infinity. I guess that's cool for kids. This game and Skylanders are the biggest money suckers ever invented. But I mean, I guess if parents are willing to shell out boatloads of money to keep their kids from sexing and to keep them off the drugs, then, you know, good on Disney for mastering the DLC game. And then heaven fell down from the sky and onto the stage. But no, it wasn't Genevieve Forget, it was Star Wars Battlefront. Which, if you haven't seen my EA video, the first game is my favorite game of all time. And the new one looks just as brilliant. This time around, they confirmed that hero battles are a thing again, and made my eyes orgasm with how brilliant this game looks. They showed off a survival mode, which I must admit is getting pretty old at this point. Not every game needs a survival mode, and shoehorning it in, where it's not necessary, makes for a dull experience. Survival modes rest on the interesting nature of the enemy forces, since they'll be your entire focus for as long as the match lasts. Games like Halo and Gears of War with lots of varied and interesting enemy types work well with this concept, and if they included the Clone Wars era with this Battlefront, it might have been cooler. But I can only shoot bland stormtroopers so many times. However, with co-op included, specifically couch co-op, I think this mode may have some mileage yet. Only time will tell. If nothing else, Sony knows how to end a show. And this year they finished with Uncharted 4, the latest and supposedly the last entry in one of the greatest game series of all time. Every Uncharted game is a cinematic masterpiece, and the closest you will ever come to playing an action movie. This game looks better than ever, and I was really excited to see how gameplay looked when it crashed. The game just straight up died. Luckily, Sony took this with grace and simply started the demo over. Thankfully, this time it went off without a hitch, and the results were spectacular. It looks like more of the same gameplay-wise, but for once that's perfectly okay with me. It would be hard to improve the core of Uncharted-style gameplay without making it a completely different game. It looks crisp, it looks clean, it looks like a movie. A movie we can play! The vehicle segment looked like a lot of fun, the environmental destruction was really impressive, and the clothesline physics with it getting stuck on the car was a nice little touch. Also, the chicken joke was great.
Sorry about the chickens.
So there you have it. Sony showed off a lot of new stuff, and they brought back a lot of old favorites too. I wish they'd spent more time with the games that they did show, instead of spewing montages at us every 5 minutes, but I mean, what are you gonna do? And I gotta say, I have never been more desperate to get my hands on a current gen console. I'm stranded in the past. So what did you think? What are you excited for? Please discuss my thoughts, your thoughts, each other's thoughts, your pet's thoughts, your parents' thoughts in the comment section below, and I will be sure to see you next time.
Like what you see? Well, why not throw out a like? Want to see more? Click that subscribe button to stay up to date. Got something to say? Well, there's a place for that too. Hate everything about us? Of course you do! It's the internet!
The brief Assassin's Creed Syndicate bit confirmed that most of the stuff from the Ubisoft show goddamn Ubisoft. So there you have it. Sony showed off. Goddamn it. Sony.
Your neighborhood family gamers.